San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy not necessarily given the responsibility to call audibles at the line of scrimmage. This was confirmed by him, and this also isn't necessarily new information. It's been discussed, even probably prior to Kyle Shanahan coming over to the San Francisco 49ers. It's just a function of his offense, and Kyle has specific things built into his scheme that should have answers for what the defense is showing. But I think it's important that we kind of bring this conversation back because I do think it has gotten away a little bit because the conversation and how it started wasn't about audibles. It wasn't about Brock Purdy coming to the line of scrimmage and completely just changing the play. Now, I think when you look back at like Peyton Manning and you look at those types of quarterbacks, of course, they have the ability to come to the line and check the play and change into something else. And I think you can even go back to the Harbaugh era when they would call a run and pass in the huddle. And then you have the quarterback come to the line of scrimmage and check him into the right play, things like that. Brock Purdy isn't doing those things. He's coming to the line, he's processing the defense, and he's being able to discern where he needs to go with the football. And there are answers built into the play based on the defensive look. And it's up to Brock to get it into that situation within the structure of the play. But obviously, the fact that this audible thing has kind of grown into its own kind of individual topic, I think it's important to remember that the whole reason why this is even a topic, it's not about audibles, it's about checking protections at the line of scrimmage. I think the reason why this has come up is kind of some of the questions that I have personally asked about how the 49ers continually get caught in these protection looks where they're overloaded, where they have numbers to match the other team's numbers, but they keep getting free rushers. So, as a result of that, one of the things that we've been discussing and trying to analyze, that prompted my conversation with Alex Smith, is just more so about when you come to the line of scrimmage and you see that maybe the defenses are understanding your protection rules, and so they're going to kind of take advantage of your protection rules, and they're basically overloading you. So you're sliding protection one way, or they just overload a side where you have bad numbers and you're getting free rushers. This is where the conversation has stemmed from, and the conversation and what I talked to Alex about was, can Purdy check protections, not necessarily come to the line and just change the play. Now, I do think that is a part of it. Like maybe there is an opportunity where you do come to the line, you see a blitz is coming at you, and you check the play into a blitz beater that you maybe have predetermined in practice through Kyle and things like that. But that's a conversation for a different day. We're more talking about checking the protection to make sure that you have the proper tools at your disposal to protect yourself within the pocket, to be able to find the answer that's built in to the play. So that's basically where the conversation started this week. And obviously it's evolved into something bigger, just like it always does. But I just wanted to bring back the context of what it is, and it's about protections. It's about getting the proper numbers and not getting exposed. And it feels like the good defensive coordinators have understood how the 49ers are going to slide protection, meaning they know what Brendel is going to be keying on, how he's going to key the mic. And this is effectively what Alex had said, is they understand those rules and they're basically countering the rush to the opposite side and take advantage of those rules. And so that's where the questions that I have posed that I think has kind of snowballed into this other conversation is just about, is there an opportunity for Brock to check protections, or is there an opportunity to have built in kind of like safety valves, right? If you feel that you're getting a zero blitz, yes, there are answers built into the scheme, but what if you just straight up checked into like, oh, we're getting a zero blitz, we throw up a hand signal, we throw out a call, and we're boom right into a screen pass that goes directly into the blitz, and you take advantage of the numbers that they're sending to you. Those are the questions that I have asked. And those are the things that I have posed. And obviously, it kind of got back to Brock. Brock was asked about the audibles, and so it's now kind of just it's taken on a life of its own. And I think it's important to note that this structure of Brock coming to the line of scrimmage, not changing anything, and finding the answers within the scheme that's been called allows him to move faster. It allows him to just be able to maybe decipher quicker. Um, this is what Alex had said to me. It's the ability to be able to move quickly and process less, and just be able to find the answers that are already baked into the scheme. So I think obviously there's a lot of feelings involved with this. I've seen a lot of the comments about, like this is why Kyle's scheme is chalked and all of these other things. And I don't necessarily believe that to be true either, because when you look at the success that the San Francisco 49ers have had under Kyle Shanahan, it is all under this structure. Whether you go back to Jimmy G, whether you fast forward to Brock Purdy, this has been the structure. This isn't anything new. When you look at the 49ers having that historically great season, last year offensively, this was the structure. This was the same things. Brock executing just like we've been talking about. So I don't necessarily, think it's a crazy deal that he can't. I think we think of the other quarterbacks in the league who have the autonomy to come to the line of scrimmage and check whatever they want. They call hot routes to the wide receiver. If they see a coverage that they like, they change the protections based on what they see, or they just get them out into a completely different play. I think we've seen, elite quarterbacks in this league have that autonomy. And I think so when we hear that Brock can't audible, right? We're like, oh, like, see, Brock doesn't have the power of the Peyton Mannings had to be able to be the coach on the field, right? So I think that's where a lot of the commentary is coming from and spun off to. But the conversation is really about protections. It's really about managing protections. And the point being is if you are getting free rushers, that means the defense is out scheming you. That means that is a win for the defense and a loss for the 49ers. And so what the point that I've simply been trying to bring up is, how do we not get caught in these? Because this isn't a this year thing. This isn't just a Kansas City Chiefs thing. This is multiple years that we see the 49ers from time to time get caught with these protection looks. And it's, can you bake in and built in checks for Brock that if he's not comfortable with the answer built in and baked into the play that's been called in the huddle, can he check out of that? That's just kind of been my questions. Like, it's not, oh, scrap what Kyle's called, we're going doing something completely different. No, it's more, all right, I can see that we're going to get an overload look. They're going to drop out this side. They're going to bring numbers. How do we counter that? Can we check that? Can we check the slide protection? Can he overrule what Brendel has said? Those are simply the questions that have been asked, and obviously it's kind of evolved, but those are the adjustments that I'm interested in seeing the 49ers make. Those are the things where, I think you also had Forster talk about it as well, and from a protection standpoint. And he gave a ton of credit to Spags. He's like, Spags just cooked up a good one, and they got us out of spot, out of where we needed to be. And you got to give credit, and that's what we've talked about too. We've talked about giving credit to those people as well. So I think the conversation is kind of evolved into something bigger than what it was intended to be. It was more so about, how do we not get these free rushers? How do we make sure that, okay, how do we manage this better? Because again, the scheme says, all right, you get free rushers, you check to hot. And are there better ways to check to hot? Are there better things to do as an offense on the same page to key on hot a little bit better, to key on the blitz a little bit better? Because, like, for example, the one where you had two free rushers, the hot read wasn't to the blitz side, it was opposite side. And opposite side, you also had a lot of junk in the throwing lane. So it was a would have been a like it doesn't seem like, yes, there's an answer, but it seems like you could find better answers. And that's where the conversation really started. It's taken on a life of its own. You can't expect anything less from the internet, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.